The Dublin Area Rapid Transit System, also known as DART, is an electrified commuter railway network serving the coastline and city centre of Dublin. The service makes up the core of Dublin's suburban railway network, stretching from Greystones, County Wicklow in the south to Howth and Malahide in North County Dublin. The DART serves 31 stations and consists of 53 kilometres of track and carries in the region of 20 million passengers per year. The DART system was established by Corras Per Éireann in 1984 to replace an aging fleet of diesel-powered locomotives such as the 2600 class Mark I. Since 1987, the service is operated by Éireann, Ireland's national rail operator. Contemporary rolling stock on the DART network is powered by 1,500 volts DC overhead wirings and uses the Irish 1,600mm gauge. An extension and modernization project branded as DART Plus, which will triple the electrified network in size, began design work in 2019. Let's zoom into a bit of history now. The section of track bed between Dún Laoghaire and Dublin City was originally laid out as part of the Dublin and Kingstown Railway, Ireland's first railway. This line was later connected with the Belfast Main Line to the north and Wexford Main Line to the south and joined the Harcourt Street Line at Shanganagh Junction. The scenic views from the railway over Dublin Bay at this point have been favourably compared to those on the Gulf of Naples and have resulted in trips to Killiney Hill and Greystones along the line becoming popular tourist attractions. Prior to the electrification in 1984, the line was operated using 1950s era Corona Per Éireann 2600 class railcars, which had been converted in the early 1970s to push-pull operation. These diesel-powered trains were powered by a Corona Per Éireann 201 class locomotive with a driving trailer carriage on the other. This service was notoriously uncomfortable, unreliable and overcrowded. By the late 1970s, the need for an urgent upgrade to the system had become apparent as the 2600 class railcars were in poor condition. Replacement parts had become increasingly difficult to obtain due to the age of the rolling stock and its conversion to push-pull operation, which had been intended as a temporary measure until a more permanent solution could be established and had come to the end of its serviceable life. In advance of electrification, 3 new stations at Sandymount, Butcherstown, and Salthill and Monkstown were added to the network in 1984. Sandymount and Butcherstown were each built at the sites of previous stations, while Salthill and Monkstown were built near the site of the original Kingstown Railway terminus between Seapoint and Dún Laoghaire. As electrification work was undertaken from 1981 to 1982, a spur which had served the ferry port at Dún Laoghaire were disconnected from the main line, as the installation of overhead power lines to service the harbour would have necessitated the lowering of the track, which travelled through a portal south of Dún Laoghaire station. Early DART services ran from the northeastern suburb of Howth through Colnley, Tower Street and Pearse Station to the city centre and on to Bray, which lies on the border between Dublin and Wicklow. This route remained unchanged for almost 16 years, at which point the line between Bray and Greystones was electrified. Further electrification of the line took place in between Howth Junction and Donaghmede and Malahide, the northernmost DART station, and on the Belfast Main Line. We shall now take a detailed look into the fleet history, starting with the 8100/8300 class. The CIE 8100 class, also known as the 8300 class, were the first electrical multiple units used on the Dublin Area Rapid Transit System and on Irish Rail. Built by GEC and Link Hoffmann Busch in 1983, which are German companies, there are 2 car units and were the only units used on the DART before the arrival of the 8200 class, which we'll go into later. 42 car sets were delivered numbered 8101 and 8301 to 8140 and 8340. 81XX units are powered cars, while 83XX units are unpowered driving trailers. The driving cabs are full width, with the inner ends connected by gangways. Powered cars always headed north, while driving trailers headed south. The original seating layout consists of 72 seats per coach, within 16 tip-up seats at the door, giving 176 seats in total. With increasing passengers numbers and the heavy spring in the tip-up seats becoming a possible source of injury, the tip seats were removed in the late 1980s. As a result of ever-continuing passenger demand in the late 1990s, extra standing room was provided through the removal of 16 seats from the 83XX unpowered driving trailers, reducing seating capacity to 56, giving a two-car unit a total of 128 seats. 8110 to 8310 and 8136 to 8336 were scrapped after suffering serious damage in a fire at Fairview Depot on the 14th of July 2001. When the 8600 class units entered service from 2001, also known as the 8500 class, a number of 8100 class units were modified to make up 6 car sets with them. Since the refurbishment detailed below, this is no longer possible. The units concerned were 8101, 8102, 8108, 8114 to 8118, 8120, 8122, 8123, 8126, 8135, and 8137. All of the remaining units returned to service in 2007 and 2008 following refurbishment by Siemens. This included the installation of modified marker lights, removal of some seats to add more standing space, giving all coaches 64 seats and space for a wheelchair, installation of an electronic passenger information system, new wheel slide protection equipment, and digital traction control to replace the outdated analog system, and installation of a door closing warning beeper. It was also supposedly intended to allow the units to operate in 8 car sets, the original units being limited to 6 cars, but some unmodified OHB sets had operated in 8 car formations during 2007. As with other DART units, they are maintained at Fairview Depot as well as being stabled at Bray. By January 2013, as reported in the ITG magazine, Irish Mail, sets 8103, 8105, 8113, and 8138 were temporarily stored out of service. All these units were returned to revenue service except 8103 and 8303, which remained in storage, not having run service since 18th of August 2010. However, this unit returned to revenue service on 20th September 2018. On the 13th of September 2017, in 1645 service from Howth to Bray, formed by 6-car 8100 class unit, was derailed on a set of points at Dunleary Station. The train was led by 8308 to 8108, both bogies of 8308 derailed as did one of 8108. 2 passengers required medical attention according to official sources. There was widespread criticism on social media over Irish response to the incident, both from passengers delayed on other services and the derailed train itself, due to the lack of information on the time it took to evacuate the derailed train. We will now take a look at a rather quiet, unknown DART 8200/8400. The Aaron Aaron 8200 class electrical multiple units were built for the Dublin area rapid transit. The units were 2 car sets, of which there were 5. They were numbered in the sequence 820X to 840X. 820X units are powered cars, while 840X units are unpowered driving trailers. The units first entered service in 2000. The units had operated in multiple with the 8500 and 8510 classes. The 5 members of this class spent long periods out of service, unlike the DART 8100/8300, the most recent being from summer 2007 until March 2008. Following a brief return to service, all of the coaches, with the exception of 8204 to 804, all units were withdrawn from service yet again, with Aaron Aaron citing frequent breakdowns and small seating as a reason for early withdrawal. They were stable in Fairview Dart Depot during these periods of being out of service. In 2012, the units were tendered for sale but were not sold. Some remain decommissioned at Inchicore Works, although there is a rumour that 2 units have been scrapped along with some commuter 2700s. Let's finally look at the DART 8500 fleet, the last part of our small documentary, the first DART fleet to consist of 4 cars per unit. The Aaron 8500, 8510 and 8520 classes are 3 related types of EMU used on the DART network in Dublin, Ireland. The total fleet numbers a total of 17 4-car trains, all of which were constructed by the Tokyo Car Corporation in Japan. Let's take a look at the original 8500 model. The 8500 model class were delivered in 2000 and were the first 4-car units to be used on the DART network. They are numbered in the sequence 860X plus 850X plus 850Y and 860Y. 850X/850Y units are power cars, while 860X, 860Y units are unpowered driving trailers. Their interior destination displays and public announcement system has been long turned off. Like all DART units, the 8500 class are maintained at Fairview Depot and are also stabled at Bray Station. We shall now look at the improved 8510 model class. The 8510 class were delivered in 2001 as 3 4-car trains supplementing by the original 8500 class. Vehicles are numbered in the sequence 861X, 851X, 851Y, and 861Y. 851X/Y units are powered cars, while 861X and Y units are unpowered driving trailers. The most visible difference between the 8510 class and the 85 class is now the obsolete passenger information system, which is installed in the 8500s. Other differences include the presence of destination next station displays above the window of 8510s, and the use of LED taillights and headlights on 8510s in contrast with ordinary ones on the 8500s. They are capable of operating in multiple with 8500 and 8520 classes. The units are maintained at Fairview Depot. Last, we have the latest 8500 design, the 8520s. The 8520 class were introduced in 2004. There are 10 of these sets. The units can be seen working in multiple with an 8500 or 8510, though usually with another 8520 unit. Vehicles are numbered in the sequence 862X, 852X, 852Y, and 862Y. 852X/Y units are power cars, while 862X/Y units are unpowered driving trailers. They were the first units to carry the revised DART logo and also the first to be fully air-conditioned. You can notice this because the windows don't have any opening gaps, unlike the 8500s and 8510s. They are also the first units to carry the revised DART logo. They can be distinguished from the previous 8500s and 8510s by the profile of the body shell, which is more rectangular. You can see this by looking at the front of an 8500 and 8510, which in this case the top is rather oval. But on the 8520 class, you can notice that it's just a straight line as the roof.